Grace for today and my hope for tomorrow. Faithful, you are faithful. Through seasons of change, Lord, you will remain steady and true. And day by day, your mercies await, each morning made new. You are faithful, faithful, all through the ages, through joy and through sorrow. Faithful, faithful, grace for today and my hope for tomorrow. Faithful, you are faithful. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. Faithful, you are faithful. Faithful, faithful, grace for today and my hope for tomorrow. Faithful, faithful, all through the ages, through joy and through sorrow. Faithful, faithful, grace for today and my hope for tomorrow. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness.
God's story, the prophets. So part of God's story is about the prophets, and it goes like this. Prophets are people who hear from God and share it. We sometimes think of prophets as people who know the future, but really, they know whatever God tells them, which could be anything, because God knows everything. Anyway, nowadays, God speaks to all of us. But before Jesus came and before there was the Bible, God spoke to his family through just a few people. Some of those people were prophets. 16 of God's prophets have books in the Bible named after them. And today, we are talking about them. It starts with Isaiah and ends with Malachi. These guys are a pretty big part of the Old Testament, so let's check out what God said to his family through them. This won't take long because even though they lived in different places and hundreds of years apart, they had basically the same message. Because people have always had the same problem. We disobey God. So the prophets told God's family, "You've sinned, now you're in trouble." Of course, the prophets didn't just say this. They got God's family's attention by doing crazy things to show how bad life can get when we're far from God. Like Isaiah, who walked around in his underwear for 3 years to show what it looks like to lose everything. Or Jeremiah, who hid his belt under a rock until it rotted, then dug it up again so God's family could see what it looks like to be completely destroyed. Seriously, kids, that's in the Bible. And actually, it gets even crazier. Check it out for yourself. See, God is holy, which means he's perfect. He created us to be like him and follow him, but instead, we choose to disobey him, which is sin. Sin has to be punished because if God is perfect, he can't pretend it doesn't matter when we hurt each other or ourselves or his creatures or the earth. The thing is, though, God loves us anyway. He doesn't want his family to be in trouble. So he sent good news through the prophets too. They said, if you stop sinning and follow God instead, he'll have mercy on you. Mercy means not getting punished, even though you deserve it. Problem is, nobody could stop sinning for very long. Well, God had a plan for that too. He told some of the prophets, like Isaiah and Zechariah, that one day he would send someone perfect to earth. Someone who could take the punishment for everybody else's sin. And if our sin was paid for, that would mean we weren't in trouble anymore, which means we could come close to God. If 16 different prophets over hundreds of years all said pretty much the same thing, it must be important, right? even now, for us. After all, we've sinned too, and we need a rescuer. And since the rescuer already came, we can follow God and choose to accept that Jesus took our punishment, which means it doesn't separate us from God anymore. And we can talk to God, but also hear from Him, which means we can prophesy too. And that's the story of the prophets. So, in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Prophets hear from God and share it. God told a whole bunch of them the same thing. Sin separates people from God. Stop sinning and obey. But God's family couldn't stop sinning. So God promised a rescuer. Hundreds of years later, the rescuer came. And now we can be close to God. We can hear from Him. And we can share it. And that's a part of God's story.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh, hey there, kiddos. This just in. I don't know what to do.
Welcome to Grow TV. Hosted by Carl. Where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Oh, hey, y'all. I'm in quite the pickle. I'm having a difficult time trying to figure out what the right thing to do is and what the wrong thing to do is. I don't know where to start. Wait a minute. Let's play a game. This game is called What is Right? I will read off a scenario, something that is pretend that happens, and we'll try to decide what the right thing to do is. Ready? Okay, let's play. What is right? Number one, you're at school, eating lunch, and then you look down and you see a $5 bill. What do? Do you pick it up, put it in your pocket, keep it for yourself, or do you leave it there? Or do you pick it up, tell an adult, and tell them what happened? Man, that's a hard one. I mean, I can't just leave it there, can I? But you can't keep it for yourself, right? I mean, $5. That's a lot of money. You can buy a candy, a drink, invest in stocks. I mean, there's countless things you can do for $5. But it would be stealing. So I guess the right thing to do would be to take it to an adult and tell them what happened. All right, this is good practice. Let's do a couple more. Scenario number two. I'm outside playing and I see a person, Garrett, fall down. Garrett and myself are not friends though. I can either one, look the other way and keep walking. Two, I could yell, have a nice trip, see you next fall. Or three, go over and help, even though we're not friends. Man, this is tough. Obviously, I don't want to do number two because that seems mean to make fun of someone that might be hurt. But if I'm late to something in a hurry, I may not have enough time to go over and help the person. So maybe I keep walking? Nah, I gotta help Garrett. Even if someone is not your friend, we should always help. All right, last scenario.
Hey Carl, what's going on?
What's up, Cassie? Just playing a game.
Awesome, I love games. Can I play?
Sure. It's called What is Right? Have you ever heard of it?
Oh yeah, I love it. What's the scenario?
Well, you're at school. You really want to be part of the popular kids group. But you find out they're making fun of your best friend David behind his back. Now, if you make fun of David, they'll accept you and let you be part of the group. But if you don't, you'll never be part of the group.
Wow, that's a tough situation. Seems pretty specific. Are you sure this isn't real?
Of course. Totally hypothetical. Totally hypothetical.
Okay. Well, Carl, completely unrelated question. Who's your best friend?
Oh, well, it's David. We've been friends since as long as I can... I see what you did there. You just tricked me.
I did. Sorry. I just wanted you to be honest with me.
I know. I don't know what to do. I love my best friend David, but I also love the idea of being a cool kid. I don't know what to do, Cassie.
Well, I don't think I can tell you what to do, but I can tell you what Micah did.
Micah? Who's Micah?
Well, Carl, Micah was a prophet that lived a long, long time ago, even before Jesus was born.
Wow, that is a long time ago.
It sure was. You see, Micah was living near Jerusalem, and he was watching a lot of bad things happen.
Like what?
Well, the people of Israel were treating a lot of people poorly. Instead of helping others find God, they were making it harder for people to follow God.
That's awful.
So God told Micah to do something that was going to be really tough. Something that really wasn't going to make him one of the popular ones.
Really? What did he do?
Well, God gave Micah a message that he was told to tell everyone, even the leaders of Israel. It was a really difficult message and people weren't going to like it.
So Micah was told to give a message. He had the choice to listen to God or to ignore God, right?
You're absolutely right. He had to make the choice to do the right thing, and guess what?
What?
He listened to God and he did the right thing.
Wow, that's crazy. That had to have been super hard.
Totally. But Micah trusted God even when things were going wrong.
Huh. I guess when things go wrong, I can choose what's right.
You got it. You also just said our big idea.
No, I didn't! Today's big idea is when things go wrong, I can choose what's right.
So let's say it out loud on the count of 3. 1,
2,
3.
When things go wrong, I can choose what's right. Woohoo! All right. Yes, I can.
So Carl,
Yeah?
what are you going to do with your friend David and the popular kids?
Well, Cassie, I'm going to be a good friend and not talk badly about David and hope that the group of kids stop being rude. I'm going to do the right thing.
That's awesome. Good job, Carl.
Thanks, Cassie. Oh, by the way, eating chocolate that's like 5 days old on the ground, picking up and, eating it. Shouldn't do that, right?
Right.
Right! That's totally right! Thanks, Cassie. Where'd that chocolate go?
No, Carl, I meant... Never mind. Have a good week, kiddos.
Tastes like frogs.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of